Another theme park gig that I love, which might be on your list, is I loved doing the Muppets at Disneyland.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about that. Let's talk about that.
That was probably one of my dream gigs.
Yeah.
I mean, I love Disney,
Yes.
and I got to be Pepe, which was wild. By the way, the first Muppet thing I got to do was Haunted Mansion, and I'm not like Nikki. Nikki got a line as a tomato. I'm just Camilla Chicken in the background most of the time. And that shoot was so difficult for me because when I would look at the monitor, I know I'm in the scene, but I would just keep watching Miss Piggy and Kermit in the foreground and forget that I'm an extra in the background with Alan. And I would just be frozen because I would just be watching Miss Piggy and Kermit have their scene. And then you'd hear Kirk in the background be like, background, can we have some more movement, please? And you're like, oh my God, I'm in the scene. I'm in the scene. So the only Muppet puppet I got to actually physically touch is Camila. So to have Pepe, and I don't know if a lot of people know this, Pepe is ergonomically designed. He has a wooden ball that rests on your palm with a nice little trigger. I mean, I feel like Bill has the Ferrari of puppets when it comes to Pepe. And that was such a dream gig because all I had to do was lip sync. I was in a moving omnibus with Nicolette. There was another puppeteer, Brandon, and Alex. And we're literally driving down Main Street. You're smelling churros and waffle cone. And then after your first performance, they're like, you get a 2-hour break because they're going to do the Christmas parade next. And then all of us would go get Dole Whips. And we would just wait. And we would just eat all the food. And then we'd come back and do 2 more performances. It was the best gig. And it was the best gig because I love theme parks. And I love watching theme park vlogs. I'm sorry if I'm getting really excited.
No, please do.
But I would watch these theme park vlogs because they would record our performances. And to see 40-plus-year-old men get teary-eyed because they saw the Muppets live, come on. That's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's a fun gig too. And I think a lot of times people, well, it might be true in some cases, but go oh, you're performing in a theme park.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To kind of look down at it. Mm-hmm. And I understand Puppet Up is not a theme park show. Puppet Up, it was in a theme park, but it's not a theme park show. And this Muppets thing, yeah, maybe it was a theme park show, but you're also puppeteering the Muppets, and these are actual Muppets. So I don't know. I think it's a great experience. And I think even if you are doing 3 shows a night, or how many, I think I asked Nikki this, but how many times a night
we did 3, I think.
3, yeah. All of that is a chance to perform, but also work on your puppetry and use it for you. Because I've held that Pepe puppet too. It's a different style of puppet than what we normally use and necessarily Puppet Up. And
also, I feel like I got to be Pepe because for those of you who don't know, Stacy on Barbarian and the Troll, who I played, she's an owl. She was also a trigger puppet because she was basically a chamois. Like a car wash chamois shaped like an owl, and she just had a little trigger that moved her beak and her wings. So I feel like that's why Drew was like, no, trigger puppets, you can be Pepe.
Yeah.
And I was super nervous too because, these are the OG Muppet guys. And I remember after a week of performances, Drew was like, Bill has a note for you, Bill Barretto, who plays Pepe. And in my head, I was like, oh my God, he's going to hate my performance. And he was just like, oh, don't lean back too much. You lose him when you shimmy too far back. And I was like, less shimmying. Got it. So I felt really good that that was the one note. Everything else, my lip sync and bringing the character and how he acted was fine.
Awesome. So let's talk about Muppets, because you mentioned you got to work on, you worked on this project at Disneyland. You also worked on Haunted Mansion, but you also returned for the Muppets Mayhem too. Mm-hmm. What's it like working with these legendary puppeteers, and did you learn anything from working with them besides don't shimmy back too far from Bill Barretto?
That was an insane experience. We filmed Muppets Mayhem during the summer, and it was everywhere. We filmed on location. We filmed all those scenes when they're out in the desert eating expired marshmallows. That was in a sound stage in Santa Clarita where they have that giant Mandalorian wall. And apparently the people that worked at that studio was like, oh, what filmed right before? And it was the second Black Panther movie. And you're like, oh, great. Now we're making Muppets Mayhem. So that was incredible. It was very intimidating for me personally, and I can say that now because it's been a few years. These are the Muppet guys, and for us, we're mostly just there to support. So I'm like Animal's right hand, or like I'm Zoot's feet. So for me, it was mostly like I just wanted to keep my head down and not ruffle any feathers. But it was great because I feel like I do have friends that I'm closer with, like Leslie Carrara Rudolph was there and she played that big agent lady. And then, Donna was there. And I'm going to tell this story and I hope Dave Goelz doesn't mind. But I was very intimidated by Dave Goelz. Dave Goelz plays Gonzo along with a bunch of other very iconic characters. And every time I was on set, just wanted to be his friend. I was like, I just want to be your friend, Dave Goelz. And Dave, the minute he met me, was like, what have you worked on? And I, for some reason, could not think of a singular thing I worked on except Puppet Up, which, most classic Muppeteer guys do not care about Puppet Up. So I was like, Dave, I worked on Puppet, I do Puppet Up. And he like just walked away from me. He's like, I love you, Dave. And I remember we were under this stage and I was like, Dave, you want a water? I was like the worst. I was such a fangirl, but was trying to like just be in his good graces. And finally, we're on location at the El Rey Theater and we're doing this huge scene where the entire band is playing and we have to do it twice because they have the camera on a robot arm. And since there's so many puppeteers on stage, they were just going to composite it and post and erase all of us out. We're all in green suits. Every puppet has 3 puppeteers at least. I got the email the night before saying the groups of puppeteers that are going to be on each character. And in my brain, because I've had so many negative experiences with Dave so far, I was like, please, anyone but Dave Goelz. Anyone. And of course, I end up being Zoot's feet for Dave Goelz and along with Donna. And I'm just trying to keep my head down because I'm like, clearly this man does not want my puppy dog energy around any more than he has to. And I remember we're like waiting around for a shot. We're all in these green suits. Dave's sitting on an apple box. And I don't know if you knew this, but on set, if I get nervous, to get nervous energy out, I'm a massager. I will just grab a pair of shoulders and I'll just start going to town because I don't know what's going on. And what's funny is almost every puppeteer I've worked with, they know this, so sometimes they'll sit close to me when they can feel that it's starting to, that nervous energy needs somewhere to go. And so I was massaging Donna, like very vigorously on set, and I just see Dave peek over, and he's like, hey, you giving those out? And I was like, me? Do you want to massage? And I like shove Donna out of the way, and I just run over and start massaging Dave, and Dave's just sitting there getting a massage, and I just see, Leslie Carrara Rudolph and Peter Linz, and they're all looking over, like giving me the weirdest look as why are you massaging Dave Goelz? And then at the end of the day, Dave is like, hey, you did a really great job today. And I just was on cloud 9. And Leslie came up to me afterwards. She's like, that was funny that you were massaging Dave. I was like, why? He wanted a massage. She's like, oh, he doesn't like being touched. And so I felt like I I broke through to him. And now we're best friends. Just kidding. Dave Goelz doesn't know who I am.
I'm sure he'd remember you.